بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we will be discussing the concept that your thought is what is shaping your reality. And what I mean by this is that if you are right now, is somebody who is living a life that you're not happy with, you're not content with it. It's so bad that you identify yourself as somebody who's always broke. Maybe you're working really hard, but you're finding yourself always broke. You know you can do so much better with your life, and yet you keep finding yourself in your comfort zone, always coming back to your comfort zone. Well, I'm here to tell you that the thoughts that you are having from moment to moment is what is keeping you trapped. Do you know that as human beings, we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day? Subhanallah. If somebody asks you, what were the dominant thoughts that you have been having in a particular day, you would probably not have any idea what that was. Or maybe you might remember one or two. But what are these the dominant ones that you have been having, or is it just the ones that you've noticed? But here's the thing, right? If we are not aware of the thoughts that we are having, if we, then we're not able to change. If we're not controlled, then we're on an autopilot every single day doing things and yet not realizing the reasons behind it, making decisions and still not really understanding the reason behind it. How many times has someone asked you when you identified yourself as a lazy person, when they asked you, why are you lazy? What was your answer? I don't know. Why do you procrastinate? I don't know. Why are you the person that you are? I don't know. Or if someone asked you, why are you the way you are, you'd probably get the victim violin out. You know, this happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me. I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. But the truth is, you cannot be a victim really, because you are the person who is making the choices to keep yourself stuck, don't you think? So anyway, so what do I mean by your thoughts is what's shaping your reality? I want to start by a story that I once watched. It was a program, a documentary that I watched on TV long time ago, back in the day when I used to watch TV. Do people actually watch TV still? I'm not sure. But anyway, this documentary started with a guy behind bars. He was in prison. He looked really old, really rough. His teeth was rotten. And this other guy, he was behind bars, and this guy was interviewing him, a journalist. And he started telling us what a tough life that he had. He shared with us that he came from a very poor family. His dad was in and out of prison. He was a drug dealer and also a drug addict. And every time he was released from hospital, he would bring chaos into the family. There's always bad people chasing him. The police was chasing him. Things were so bad that they had to create a tunnel for him to escape inside the house. So whenever someone knocked on the door, he had an escape route. So the guy said that he wished when he was young, he hated his dad so much, and he hated the situation that he wished his dad never came home. It was so bad that he said he used to plan, as soon as he's old enough, he's going to leave home and he's going to start his own life, and it's going to be a life that is not this, anything but this. But guess what? As soon as he was old enough, he became a drug dealer. And in one of those dealings, unfortunately went wrong and someone died. He killed someone, and that's why he was behind bars. And then they showed us another guy. This guy was well put together. He was very handsome. This guy had a family. He lived in a beautiful house. Very successful guy. It was very clear that this gentleman was a successful person. But then at the end of the program, they told us that these two guys were twins, and they grew up in the same household at the same time. I was so shocked. Honestly, my jaw was on the floor, and I've never forgotten about this story, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, because it just impacted my life. I was like, how is this possible? I was so confused. But subhanallah, now in hindsight, now learning about neuroscience and understanding, like learning about Islamic psychology, I understand exactly what happened. Whatever thoughts that you entertain consistently is what is going to shape your reality. Imagine your mind as a fertile soil, right? And whatever you plant consistently, your subconscious mind will nurture and it will grow it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Hadith al-Qudsi, I am as my servant thinks of me. So subhanallah. So when you are living and in your life that you are focused on negative, you are having these negative thoughts. The world is dark. The people that are in the world is dark. They are evil. They can't be trusted. I'm not capable. I can't do this. When you are focused, what we often forget is that we are saying Allah is not giving us these things. Allah is not capable of creating such a wonderful, amazing life that we are capable. Because if you just imagine, right, just imagine for a moment, when you were a baby, you was born, right? As soon as you were born, you didn't speak any language. This was a new world to you. New world, not new country, new world. Including your parents, you seeing your parents for the first time and everything, but you knew how special you were. You knew you were a very important person. Because you screamed the house down and you said, I want my food now. I want my nappy to be changed, without you even learning one word. And when you were learning, let's fast forward a few years, and when you were learning when to talk or when to walk, subhanallah, how many times did you fall? You fell time and time again, but that's because you believed in yourself, you trust in yourself, and that's who you truly are. That is your true essence. But society has beat it out of you. Having thoughts such as, I can't do this, saying it often enough, unfortunately, you will get the fruits, because whatever soil that you put in there, that you plant, is what you're going to see, what is going to grow in that garden. And that you putting in negative thoughts without even realizing these negative thoughts, whatever that you see in your life is what you have manifested yourself. Subhanallah. Inna Allah ma yughayyiru biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. What does that mean? Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a man until they change what's inside of them. And it's a requirement as a human being for us to reflect often, for us to look within often and understand what is going on. Why are we having these thoughts? The thought itself isn't harmful, but what happens afterwards? You have the thought, and then it creates an emotion. It ignites some kind of an emotion. That could be an anger. It could be excitement too, depending on what the thought is. After you set off that emotion, then an action will take place. Either an action or inaction. And if it's a negative feeling that we had, if we felt frustrated, if we felt fear, then what will happen is, then you will choose procrastination. You won't feel good about yourself. Confusion and overthinking and self-doubt will set in, and all of a sudden you will move towards the inaction side, right? Instead of taking action. Subhanallah. And then if you do that more often, if you do that, that same thought will come up, I'm not good enough, and then you feel frustrated, or you feel angry, or you feel upset, and then you will choose inaction. Do that often enough, and guess what happens? What will happen is that it becomes a habit. Every time you try to do something, then you will choose inaction. You will choose inaction, and then that will become your personality, subhanallah, and will become your personality. And now you will start identifying as somebody who procrastinates. You will start identifying as somebody who's lazy. You will start identifying as someone, whatever that you identify as, subhanallah. Nowadays, unfortunately, we became professionals in ignoring or hiding away not dealing with these thoughts and feelings. In fact, most of us are not even aware these thoughts exist, right? Because we're on an autopilot. We make the decisions on an autopilot. So how are we running away from this? Often when we recognize these uncomfortable feelings, right, in our body, when we recognize that, we can do three things. The first one is that we recognize the thought. Maybe it's I'm not going to be able to achieve what I need to achieve. But instead of actually recognizing that, understanding where this feeling, like what's happening inside your body when this thought comes in, what is that uncomfortable feeling, and accepting it, we suppress it. We suppress it and ignore the feeling. We run away from it because we don't want anything to do with it. We don't want to deal with it right now. So what happens when you do that? You run to distraction, anything to distract you. This is how addictions are developed. Some people will overeat, some people will overwatch, binge watch programs. Some people will go on a social media, just scroll up and down, trying to avoid the situation, the thought, the feeling. The second one is identification. This is where you identify with the thought itself. I'm not good enough. And you accept it as the truth. And you say, yeah, I know, I'm just not good enough. And now you show up as somebody who's not good enough. And the third one is overthinking. It's when you overthink things. Is this possible? Why is this not happening? What would happen if this happens? What are all the possibilities that could happen? And you also end up indecision, inaction, in the end not taking action at all, and confused. Subhanallah. So what can we do? How can we resolve this situation? How can we deal with these feelings and these thoughts that we are experiencing in the moment? I want to tell you something really simple. You don't even need to create a word of affirmation. You don't need to get a pen and paper and write things down. I would like to invite you to consider, when you recognize the thought and you have that uncomfortable feeling, lean into that feeling, lean into it, understand where is it coming from, which part of your body are you feeling that specific feeling, right? You don't even need to identify it, just lean into it, feel it. Because what will happen is, just like that thought, it will disappear. Because if you ignore it, it will stay in your body. Somewhere in your body it will stay. But if you feel it, and you just let it pass until it passes, you feel it, you breathe into it, and it will go away. This will keep coming back for a while, but at some point that thought is going to disappear all by itself, because you have dealt with it. You have felt the feeling. You did not hide it. Subhanallah. While doing that for a while, inshallah ta'ala, you should be able to feel, you should be able to change your life. You should be able to see and feel a change in your life, inshallah ta'ala. And I would love for you to share what you thought about this program, this discussion, this topic, inshallah ta'ala. And I look forward to also hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you in our next chapter. But what did you think of it? And also, what would you like next? What would you like me to talk about in our next video, inshallah ta'ala? I look forward to seeing you, and thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely day.